locker room this week?
All of the above.
All right, Tega. Good morning.
Good morning. I wanted to introduce myself since something was your battery is on 2%.
I need to recharge.
All right. Good morning, everybody. I know some of you have not. If you slept, return your green passport. If you slept and you missed Super Falcons playing, just return your green passport to the
I
reception
slept,
downstairs.
but only because I knew you were going to give me the
No, you
details.
have to drop your green passport. All right, but it was a good game. We'll be talking about that. We'll also touch a little bit on the Hungarian Grand Prix happening this weekend, and how they sacked a driver. Shocker in the middle of the season. We'll talk about that too. What else happened? What else happened? Okay, we'll also talk about the release video. Onana is now a Manchester United player. We'll talk about all of that and more. But before we do that, Zibby, tell us, how can we be a part of the locker room?
It's pretty easy. We're streaming live on YouTube. Peace, YouTube. Just search for Smooth 981 FM Lagos. You can send us a message via WhatsApp 0809 4440981. And you can also tweet at Smooth 981. Very easy.
All right. So
Oh,
let's start with the headlines.
Nigeria, Canada share points in group opener. Hungarian Grand Prix, Daniel Ricciardo says he has fallen in love with F1 again.
Mm-hmm.
Shelley and Fraser Price passed the victory on 100-meter return in Lausanne. Australia coach defends keeping shock care World Cup injury secret. Kai Havertz scores as Arsenal beat MLS All Stars 5-0. Onana confirms Inter departure for new journey in Manchester. Mahrez joins Saudi Arabia's Al Ali, Saudi state media says. And Ancelotti says, I will never talk about Brazil. I'm the coach of Real Madrid.
Very, very good one, because people start asking you questions about tomorrow. Today, I'm the coach of Real Madrid. Ask me about today. No one knows tomorrow. All right, so let's start with the Super Falcons, all the way in Australia.
Goalkeeper Chiamaka Nnadozie was the hero as a penalty saved in the 50th minute ensured that Nigeria's Super Falcons earned a point in a goalless draw from the Group B opener of the FIFA Women's World Cup against Canada.
All right, so that match was, you had everything that could happen in a football match apart from the goals. So we had Nigeria save the penalty. Nigeria got a red card on in the game. We created chances, didn't finish it off, and there was a penalty save. So, like I said, everything else that could happen in a football match, barring the scoring. Now, after watching the Super Falcons, I can tell you one thing: I don't know what those girls are doing in training, because everything that I saw in that match, everything I saw the Super Falcons lacking in that match, came down to basic training, basic tactics, basic planning. Because if you put those girls on the pitch any day, they knew exactly what to do. They knew when to close spaces. They knew when to run at the goal. They created chances. I mean, they started really slowly in the beginning, but they picked up. They settled a little bit, and then they started pressing back on Canada. You have to remember, the Canadians are defending champions, Olympic defending champions. However, the Olympics happened 2 years ago. So, like every team and like every person, form changes. And the Canada I saw early hours of this morning is not the same Canada I saw winning the Olympics 2 years ago. This Nigerian team, if you ask me, could easily have taken 3 points from this game. All it needed was planning. And the coach didn't do that. The girls didn't look like they had composure on the ball. They weren't comfortable in the ball. So even if you watch the tackles, when Abiodun gave away that red card, it was a lack of composure. She had put her foot right every single step of the way. Then she had one misstep, red card. Even before that, I saw Alozie with one agricultural tackle earlier on, and then I saw Ochebe with another tackle. So they had questionable tackles that even me, I held my breath for. And especially because they're an African country, they'll say, "Oh, these Africans have come again with this their unprocessed, unrefined tackling." I held my breath twice. So composure on the ball was missing. It showed me that they were not comfortable on the ball. It showed me that they didn't trust the plan, which also comes down again to what are they doing in training. So if you ask me, I saw the Australians I played earlier. Yes, they're playing without Samantha Care, and we're going to talk about that. But they moved with the ball very well. They communicate with each other. Their passes are great. They're fluid in transition. They're solid in defense. So you look at the way the Australians played, and you have to remember that the Australians are playing at home. So they are the home team. So they have that backing, and then they are playing well on football, even without their star player. And you wonder, can these Super Falcons get anything from that game? I think they should have gotten 3 points from this game. They just didn't have a good plan. They sat back and they tried to hit on the counter. And for me, I thought if they pressed Canada a little more, they would have gotten chances. I mean, think of the one time they pressed Canada, goalkeeper left her post. And assistant, yeah, assistant had an open post, but the angle was awkward. And if assistant also had composure on the ball to just pause and look up, she could have done one of two things: either given a pass to somebody running in, or set herself up to take the ball, even if it was an acute angle. So again, like I said, a lot of the things that I saw the team struggle with things that they could do on the training ground. So Randy, you're not working with.
Okay, Randy. All right. Well, let us know what your thoughts are. 0809 4440981. You can also tweet at smooth981.
Exactly. If you were awake last night, let's know your thoughts about the Super Falcons. So they have 1 point. I've already started to calculate. They have 1 point right now.
Calculating?
Please leave us. They have 1 point right now from Canada. I think they can get 3 points against Ireland, despite the fact that the Irish have good enterprise. I think they can get 3 points against the Irish, so that gives us 4 points. The team I'm not sure we can beat or get anything against is Australia, but if we get 4 points, can we make it out of the group? Fingers crossed. All right, so your thoughts, give us your thoughts now on what you think about the Super Falcons if you watch the match. The numbers to call are
01448991.
And you can also send your messages to WhatsApp on
0809 4440981.
What do you think? The Super Falcons, how did they fare? Were you impressed? Were you disappointed? Or was it exactly as you expected? Because some people these days, they don't even expect anything from the national team. Let us know what you think. But yeah, great, well, good performance. Not great. Good performance so far. And considering everything that happened in the build up to the World Cup, the bonuses, the lack of preparation, Randy and NFF fighting on social media, it was a good turnout. And especially with that penalty save. That's not a penalty save. They need to give her 2 bonuses for that match. All right, so we're waiting for your messages and your phone calls. Again, the numbers to call are
01448991, or just send a message via WhatsApp 0809 4440981.
All right, so this message comes in from
Pius
from Egbeda. All right.
Pius says, Tega, the red card under Randy Waldrum is something else. We're lucky that the red card didn't come early. The ladies should be careful. But I love what Randy did today. The midfield was closer to the defenders to assist. As for Azizat, she needs to up her game. She has not been impressive for the national team for long now. Please, what about Onome Ebi?
She's there. That much I can tell you. Onome is at the World Cup. She's there and she's still captain. But she's like captain like Maguire from the bench. Oh. Okay, Maguire is no longer captain again, so we can't even shade him. But yeah, she didn't. She's on the bench. She's in Australia.
Interesting.
Yeah. All right. So let's take, while we wait on those phone calls and those messages, let's take some more stories.
All right. Daniel Ricciardo says he has fallen in love with Formula One again as he prepares to return to the grid at this weekend's Hungarian Grand Prix.
Yeah. So this is what we're talking about now. Oh, the phone lines are buzzing. Let's take this phone call. Hello. Good morning. Yes. Your name and your location, please. Chris from Ojo. Go ahead. What do you think about the Super Falcons so far?
Yeah, I did saw the game. Although I want to give a little bit of credit to Waldrum. I know Tega did say Australia possessed the ball a lot against Ireland, while Nigeria couldn't do much on the ball. But the opposition, the Australians are playing, they are Ireland and they are debutants. So they are different from Canada. I do criticize the Super Falcons most times, but I do think they had a good game today. Okay. But I think Australia is overhyped too much. She's not that brilliant for me.
Champions League winner overhyped. Are you saying Champions League winner is overhyped?
For the fact, I do think in most games I've never seen her done that brilliant. The movement is poor. Look at the press up. just lacking in confidence. The goalkeeper is that even if he couldn't slot the ball home, hold the ball on and flip the pass, you understand? But wow, Uche Nakani just had few minutes on the game and you could see the brilliance. The touches was very unique and stuff like that. I think we do need Ajibade, and I think it's high time we started like drop Oshola. I think he's not been doing much for the Falcons these days. But I'm very impressed with Ohale, Osinachi, and the right back Alozie, as well as the girl who got red carded. And what was her name? Deborah Abiodun.
Yes.
She was energetic. She pressed the ball. I'm impressed with them, but I think the issue I have is in the forward line. Asisa is not doing enough for me.
Okay.
As in, when you talk about quality players, their touches and the movement, I know she did.
All right. Thank you so much. So we'll take other calls. Thank you so much. So let's take this message from Josh. She says,
Josh says, I agree with you that the Super Falcons could have gotten all 3 points in that game. I feel like they used the Canadian old form as defending champions to prepare for the match rather than adjust as the time goes on. We lacked a plan B. The tackle shot.
all right, Josh. So let's quickly run to the next story because we quickly going out of time. We'll still be taking your calls and your messages, but on the other side.
Daniel Ricciardo says he has fallen in love with Formula One again as he prepares to return to the grid at this weekend's Hungarian Grand Prix.
All right. So I was talking about a driver that was sacked earlier. So he's Nick De Vries. So last season, everybody was talking about how Nick De Vries was so great. You know, he was the reserve driver for Mercedes and how he was good in the car. And maybe if he has more time in the car, he was going to be able to do much. Well, he got an opportunity. He got a seat. Shockingly, drivers are looking for seats, but he got a seat in this season, and he flunked. In fact, 2 races ago, his boss came out to blast him publicly. This one was public dragging, that he's not doing well, and if he's not careful, he's going to, they're going to have to replace him. Before we could blink, he's been replaced. Now remember, Daniel Ricciardo is the guy that McLaren replaced with unceremoniously. 1 minute he thought he was going to extend his contract. The next minute, no contract, and they announced that they're replacing him with somebody else. So Daniel Ricciardo is very happy that at least somebody else's bad luck has become his own good fortune. So he's back in the car. He's saying that the target is to get back into a Red Bull. But he's going to take every other opportunity he has and drive well, and then get the opportunity to get back to Red Bull. I don't think he can ever get back that Red Bull seat because there are too many drivers on the grid that Red Bull will be eyeing and Red Bull will say will come up, especially because of the way he left Red Bull earlier with the competition against Max Verstappen. So I'm not sure that he's going to be getting any seats on the Red Bull, but I'm happy that Ricciardo is back, that his smile is back on the grid, and so it will be great to see it this weekend in Hungary.
All right, let us know what your thoughts are. We'll take more of your phone calls and your messages on the other side. This is The Locker Room on Smooth 98.1. Stay with us. So good!
I have to clear my throat.
You carry your ginger after the advice you were giving, Tega.
Is my bag given upstairs?
You can put the ginger here where old women keep money. Oh, wow. Kiki, do you love me?
Who has watched this show? Is it funny?
I don't know.
Meanwhile, what's you said about my Kunle? So, first of all, Kunle is not like that. He doesn't have an air. But he has this. It's I don't know what to call it. It's not a lazy draw, but it's a laid back kind of response. So when you're talking to him, it almost appears as if he's nonchalant in the conversation.
I don't know. So all these Nollywood people are so up themselves.
No. I don't think it's that with him. Because even when he's acting, he appears like he's not. He's one of those people that you would hate to fight against. Yeah, because you'd be angry and you'd be up and
they'll be like ridiculously calm.
Yeah, you'd be like, calm down now. It's not that serious. I want to beg him. That's the way he appears in this movie.
Oh, wow.
So that himself and Timini, I think they have that kind of thing. Timini's own is not.
Why is Timini a good actor?
I don't know that he can act many roles,
Okay.
but the roles that he acts, he does them well. So if you're bad guy, lover boy, don't give him anything else.
Okay, unless so. All right. You're inside the locker room on Smooth 98.1. It's Tega and Zibby with you this morning. Phone lines are still open, so give us a ring. Talking about the Super Falcons. 01 4489 981.
And then send your messages to
0809 440 981.
And one of such messages from
Shagun from Mina.
Okay.
Hi, Shagun. What's
Shagun,
Mina
hi.
saying? All the way.
All the way from Mina. We should send you a basket of flowers. Oh, Zibby will send you a basket of flowers.
So you pass that responsibility on to me, Tega.
All right. So let's take his message.
Shagun says, I think the Super Falcons started slowly, but they grew into the game. I think they gave the Canadians too much space and time on the ball. I think Rashida Tajibade will bring something different and add value to the team. They have a chance of going through to the next round if they don't lose to Australia.
All right. Nancy says,
Tega, we really missed Ajibade. Hope she plays in the next game. The Falcons can improve on this performance, or else, if Sam Kerr catches this Falcons.
The good news is Sam Kerr is not out. She's out of the first 2 matches. So Australia is our next match. So if you saw the way I was happy, I don't need to be shameless about such things. I was celebrating. Let her just stay out. Come back against Canada. We'll be okay. All right. So this Emeka Onelum, he says,
each time the Canadians had a corner kick or a free kick in critical times of the game, I was kneeling in front of my TV saying Psalm 23 at the Lord's Prayer. Good game overall. As for United's reveal of Onana, United has the driest way of revealing their new players. No excitement. Did they see the way Arsenal used Odumodu to welcome Declan Rice?
Odumodu and Rihanna are 2 different people. Anyway, Odumodu, I'm not to discredit, but Odumodu's money and Rihanna's money. One is longer than the other. I will not tell you which. All right, let's take the next story.
3-time Olympic champion Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce powered to victory in her first 100-meter sprint of the season in Lucerne in Switzerland.
All right, so you know that everybody's ramping up towards the World Championships in Budapest next month. And Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce was struggling with an injury. And so she just came back from her injury, and she said this time. But Sherika Jackson still holds the record for the season. Shakari Richardson from America is good. Look, that 100 meters is just going to be a cat fight, and it will be great for those of us watching because everybody's going to pull out the stop. So I expect to see the world record smashed, or I expect them to use VAR to separate first from second because it's going to be a packed one 100 meters if everybody is fit, and I hope that everybody is fit. So Jamaica will come against US, and we'll see how it all pans out in the end, and maybe even Great Britain can just throw in some random number there. Yeah, you never know. It's 100 meters, a sprint. Anything can happen with the sprint speed dash. So it's great news all the way to the World Championships. The only thing we're hoping is that Toby Amuson is cleared so that she can defend that title, because as it is,
I was worried about that with the World Championships.
Yes,
up, right?
that's what everybody was worried about. Is the World Championships. We know she didn't fail a drug test, so we're just like, look, this suspension coming up now that is coming up. What's wrong with you all? But I'm hearing rumors that there may be good news in the sense that the whereabouts test that they are saying that she missed, it may have been a miscommunication maybe on their part. So before you start, like I said, it's rumors.
Okay.
That's why I'm not giving you the full gist.
All right.
So hopefully she'll be able to come out of that. Hopefully.
Wow. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
Okay. Now, Kai Havertz scores as Arsenal beat MLS All-Stars 5-0 now at the Audi Field on Tuesday in a well-attended skills challenge. He kind of struggled.
I would say this for Arsenal. They like to win pre-season trophy. Pre-season like this, come and see how they're doing. Arsenal fans, did you enjoy? You should send us messages and tell us, did you enjoy the way they showed up 5-0? Trossard with his own goal. I was just like, is this the same Arsenal? But prior to that, Kai Havertz scored in that match. But prior to that, in the skills competition the day before, he had 14 shots. He missed all 14. That's all I can say. So that's what he probably has scored his goal to keep him in the manager's good books for the next 2 months. So he does that every once in a while when people start, asking or questioning why he's a footballer. He'll score 1 goal to keep everybody quiet. then he'll go on a random anonymosity for the next 2 months, and then come back again to score one more goal to keep people quiet. So yes, he scored a goal in the friendly, but just remember that the skills challenge, he had 14 shots and he missed all 14. So don't be too excited that he's going to turn good in an Arsenal jersey. A lizard cannot become a crocodile just because it changed geographic location.
Oh,
That's all I
wow.
can say. All right, let's talk about Sam Kerr now and her coach, who was sneaky with details. So we didn't know what was happening with Sam Kerr. If you watch the last match before, I think it was a final match before, I think it was against France, before they went to the World Cup. I suspected that she was carrying something because there she's sitting on the bench with an ice pack. And then they kept this thing on Wednesday. They had their pre-match conference. They didn't say anything. Then before the match, I just heard, you're going to hear a big announcement. I was just like, is Sam Kerr injured? Because I kind of sensed it from the way the bench was going. Turns out she was injured. Do you know what the coach said? And that he wasn't sure what the injury was, but he was sure enough that she was going to miss it. And then he said it was also a tactical ploy, to keep that secret till late as possible, because most of the opponents, especially Ireland, being their first match, would have planned their game based on the fact that Sam Kerr will play. So Sam Kerr not playing and them not telling the world Sam Kerr was not playing will throw people off. I'm just like, FIFA, next time we need to know about this injury list so that analysts can use it. But we'll see how that pans out. But that was a very sneaky one of them, to hold the gist until last minute before they release the information.
All right, 0809 4440981. That's the WhatsApp number. You can also tweet at smooth981. Manchester United have signed Cameroonian goalkeeper Andre Onana from Inter on a 5-year contract with the option of a further year.
Yeah, so I remember when he was saying goodbye, and when he said, "Oh, I think we'll meet again somewhere," I was like, in the Champions League. You want to be able to beat, so I think that's the only way you can meet. I said you want to play and not do well, and then hope Inter Milan will sign you back, since they are still looking for a replacement goalkeeper. But yeah, Manchester United fans have been calling for this, especially based on the form of Onana with Inter Milan, especially last season. So they've had all these social media compilations of his brilliance. We are waiting to see it come to fruition in the Premier League. But they've had that, and I think it was pretty certain that they were going to get him, barring any other thing, especially when David De Gea announced that he was leaving the club. They had to get somebody that big. So congratulations to Onana. He moved to Manchester United. Hopefully he'll come out real good. So another, I don't want to hear Manchester United seems to have trouble with black players. Now an African player is there. That's the blackest of the black. And there's no black than that. So I don't want to hear that about Manchester United. And number two, I was going to say that Rev was really poor. Really, that Rev was poor. The best thing I'm saying, even if you don't want to do anything great, just beg Rihanna, how much will she charge you? And play the video. Oh na, what's my name? I mean, beautiful. It just kind of slides in. They didn't do that, so it was a below par video. No, it wasn't a great video.
Wow.
I think people watched the video more because they were abusing it than because they were enjoying it. So if Manchester United social media handler is deceived by the number of people that watch that video, I can tell you why they watched the video. There are two reasons people talk about something. It's really good or it is horrid. There's no in between. All right, so let's take the next story.
Okay, Manchester City's Algerian forward Riyad Mahrez has completed a move to Saudi Arabia's Al Ahly, and this is according to Saudi state-run TV.
All right, so the club hasn't come out yet to make any statement, so I'm still going to linger on this one. But this hits me out of nowhere. Riyad Mahrez. He had a fantastic season last season. If he was going anywhere, I'd expect it to be somewhere else in Europe, somewhere bigger in Europe, not Saudi. So yes, maybe Ruben. I understand Ruben Neves was playing for Wolverhampton Wanderers, and so when he said he was moving to Saudi Arabia, he told us exactly why. We already knew why, but he said, "Look, They were offering money that I'll be able to take care of my family the way I want to take care of my family. I'll be able to give my wife and my children soft life. I understood that. But Riyad Mahrez played for Manchester City. He was an integral part of that squad. He's still in great shape. He's still in great form. If anything else, I think another UEFA Champions League club would be looking to get his signature. So to hear that he's even thinking about Saudi Arabia, regardless of the money, it hit me out of nowhere. And yes, I know Saudi Arabia means business, but this is getting a bit ridiculous. Riyad Mahrez? Really? Riyad? Shocking. All right, let's take one more story and then we'll take those your messages.
Okay, so Real Madrid coach Carlo Ancelotti moved on Thursday to tamp down discussions of his possible future move to the Brazilian national team. Now he says he was focused on the Spanish Giants and their upcoming season.
Well, I'd like to say that's the best stance to take, because even if you think of if you are thinking of taking another job, the fact that you're still in this job today, that's the job you should talk about. That's the job you should hype. That's the job that has your signature and you have a contract with. So I think it's the best stance, because Brazil have made they're not sneakily approaching this guy. They have been blatant about it. They've come into the streets, they've made noise about it, they've announced it on social media that this is person. You know how what's his name? Don Jazzy used to express his love for Rihanna everywhere.
Oh yes.
That's how they've expressed their love for Carlo Ancelotti in Brazil, in the market square. It's not quiet, it's not silent, it's not subtle. There's no class about it. They're just like, we love you and we want you. So it would be a bit disrespectful for him to say, oh, maybe I'm thinking about it. No, don't do that. Just shut it down completely. So he's taking the absolutely right stance, to face Real Madrid, especially as we don't know how Real Madrid will pan out this season. They don't have that out and out striker anymore. Benzema is gone. We don't know if Harry Kane is going. We don't know if they're going to be able to get Mbappe, seeing as Mbappe is quarreling with PSG. So they don't know how the season will pan out. So it will not make sense for him to say anything else, even as a side remark. So he's taking the best stance, I think, as the coach of Real Madrid. All right. On that note, we've run out of time. But let's close with your messages.
Ladele says, one would think Arsenal has never won a trophy from what I'm hearing.
Well, when last did you win a trophy? The people that were born that have not seen Arsenal win a trophy. That's all I'm going to say. Tayo
says, with this shaky tactics, I'll be surprised if we qualify. Kudos to the Falcons. The goalie saved Nigeria. She doesn't know what she did to our collective mentality. Care is gymming to inflict pain on some football team. I'm in my office. Let Tega keep vigil for us. Give her coffee and something light for breakfast. Kai Havertz is good at baiting. Nobody is prepared for preseason more than Arsenal. I saw some Onana girls and I hope to be entertained by Salah.
All right. This is Josh. He says,
on the contrary, I feel Saudi is just perfect for Mahrez. Chimobi Victor says, the Super Falcons really surprised us with that draw against Canada. I was awake all night to see this game with Tega and for Riyad. That is no for me. No.
It still hit me from nowhere. This one says we won 2 trophies in
2020. But those were trophies, though.
No, that's 1 trophy. Community Shield is not a trophy. Community Shield is not a trophy. I've told people this. I will fight anybody that says Community Shield is a trophy. Community Shield is tantamount to Emirates Cup.
Have mercy. It's just 8:45.
All right, good one. I see he's typing.
Ladele is typing.
Ladele is typing.
I need to get my comeback in.
He wants to get his comeback. We say when Ferguson wins it, what do you call it? It's still a Community Shield. It's not a trophy. All right. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for your WhatsApp messages. Thank you for watching on YouTube. Thank you for your phone calls. When we see you on Monday again, hopefully Ladele will agree with me that Community Shield is not a trophy.
Oh, wow.
All right. Good morning, everybody.
That's it for the locker room. Stay with us. There's a lot more to come.